the player from Denmark here. Let's take a look at the classes. Savitz, run us down.
Right, so Numberguy is going to be playing the Druid, Warlock, and Priest. Fairly standard lineup, and I believe his Warlock was a handlock.
That's right.
Yes, it was.
There's only one player that was playing Zoo, and that was
Max is out of the tournament. So.
Yeah, so kind of control heavy and a fairly standard lineup there. And Frezzar, Paladin, Warrior, Priest. More control classes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long series, it looks like.
If it's going to be a 3-2, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, certainly. This should be a very close and long match, I think. The band's obviously very smart. You know, Numberguy just taking out that Warlock class. It's been such a popular way to do your bans this weekend. And of course, if you're Frezzar and these are your decks, of course you want Miracle out of there. You do not want to play against Miracle with these slower control decks.
I'm liking in Numberguy's line of decks a little bit more because he has the Warlock, and we have seen that even decks that run double big game hunters or just one, they might still struggle against it. So I would just give the slight edge to Numberguy here.
Yeah, you know, even if you are able to take out Giants, assuming they draw it, how do you answer Jiraxis as a late game as a Druid deck? It's still a problem, and Jiraxis has been one of those cards that's been MVP, being able to win matchups just on its own. You just drop them out early, and then they can't deal with the Infernals non-stop. Keep in mind, guys, that this is just a best-of-5 single elimination. You win or go home, and at this point, Frezzar does have a lot of local fans that are cheering for him because he is the only Swedish player here in the top 16 and now in the top 8. We're ready for our match ceremony, so Rachel, once again, take it away.
Thank you so much, gentlemen of the caster desk. It's time to get our second match of the day underway. Without further ado, please welcome to the stage, Numberguy. And Numberguy, your opponent today is Frezzar. All right, gentlemen, welcome to the stage and welcome to your opportunity to win a ticket to BlizzCon. Numberguy, you are the last of 3 of your clanmates that made it this far in the tournament. Do you feel an additional pressure from them on your back, or are they really helping you out now?
They're really helping me out.
They sound like some stellar guys. Any shout-outs you want to make?
Yeah, shout out to all my teammates, especially Naria that is here today and helped me practice. It really means a lot for me.
Wonderful. Now, Frezzar, you had a late night last night. You had some long games. And we last saw you at DreamHack Summer, where you kicked some serious butt. You came out of the bracket kicking ass. How did that affect your gameplay here now?
It really helped, like, with the nerves on stage and etc. like that.
Is it very different to play at home versus in front of a crowd, I imagine?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we get this underway?
My teammates, Caldi and Twixen, helping me a lot with practice.
Wonderful teammates on my left and on my right, and we're going to give it back to the studio, right to you guys. Let's start this Hearthstone match.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And these two players are going to be evenly matched, in my opinion, 2 of the most skilled in Europe. They've done it multiple times, not maybe on the public stage other than DreamHack for Frezzar, but a lot of times in the weekly cups, you see these guys qualifying through very intense competitions with gauntlets of things like Prismatic Cup, the Zotacs. You see them really trying to prove their name, and they do have a lot of medals to their name, but just not in the premier tournaments that you see on Twitch. So let's talk about this matchup here, and we saw how their classes stacked up. I want to get some of your predictions down the line before this match starts. Artosis, you go first.
You know, I think that Savitz was right that Numberguy has a bit of an edge on the decks, but I'm actually kind of go with Frezzar. I think that he's been maybe the best player overall at the tournament as far as mistakes go. Like, I feel like he played almost perfect games a lot of times. So I think he's already kind of done it on the stage at DreamHack, and I think that his play might just be a little bit better than Numberguy's.
All right. Well, do you agree with that, Savit?
Yeah, I completely agree with. Frezzar has been playing nearly flawless in many games, and I've been really impressed by his plays. I already knew that he's a good player, but now I've seen it with my own eyes.
Well, looks like we're going to do this, the mulligans now. Looks like, ooh, a priest versus priest to open up with.
All right.
We could get some Ysera on Ysera action.
Well, the game's about to begin, so Acop, you will be joining as the guest caster. Enjoy, boys, and good luck to the players.
Thank you much, Frodan. Taking a look at these hands. Going to keep the Northshire Cleric over here. And already that mulligan was done for Numberguy before we really started taking a look. As far as the hands go,
we don't see any Blade Masters, so no one really favored right now.
yeah, kind of slow starting hands, I guess. Pretty funny if they both started with Northshires. It doesn't look like that'll be the case, though.
It seems like the Dark Cultist will give Numberguy here the edge a little bit, because that's going to be a big drop that is going to be hard to deal with for Frezzar at the moment.
I'm not sure how useful playing the Cleric on turn 1 was.
Yeah, you might want to save that in case of something like a Dark Cultist or an injured Blade Master.
If he had some stuff to go with it, I mean, then it would have made a bit more sense to me, but he doesn't really have anything to back it up.
Yeah, he does not have the Power Word Shield to buff it, to save it from minions. He does not have the Circle of Healing to... I mean, he does have the Circle... Wait, he does not have the Circle of Healing to heal minions, to make immediate use out of the Northshire. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's kind of wasted.
It does seem like a bit of a mistake here, and that's kind of funny because we were just saying Frezzar has played almost perfectly throughout this tournament. He's been fantastic. Does go ahead and use this Thought Steal, gets 2 cards that I think are really not what you're looking for here in a Northshire Cleric and a Holy Nova.
Not at all. What you're looking against another priest are the powerfully expensive cards.
And look at this. He's going to have a full health Blade Master as well as the Dark Cultist out here. This is really hard for a priest to deal with. That Blade Master is like how you win games in priest versus priest early on.
Yeah, and it was kind of lucky as well. Like, he did not have Blade Master in his opening hand, and he got back-to-back top deck Blade Master, which is going to be huge in this matchup. I mean, the Blade Master are just such a great tool, especially if they get healed up immediately, to trade enemy minions and just establish board presence and pressure the enemy priest a lot. Seriously,
like, how do you even deal with this board as Frezzar? I'm looking at his hand, and I see absolutely nothing. Well, I do not see anything he can do to immediately impact this board at all.
I mean, there's that Shadow Madness, so he could deal with the Dark Cultist, but...
and then make that 10 health.
No, he doesn't get the buff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's on your side of the board when it dies.
Okay, never mind, I'm crazy. So
like
that seems like the obvious play.
It's not perfect, but it's something. And now the buff won't be on the Blade Master ever.
Yeah. But it is a card for a card, so he can just kind of keep this Blade Master alive, heal him up a bit.
On the previous turn, it was really smart by Numberguy to use the Circle of Healing. Otherwise, that would have been a disaster, and those would have traded.
Yeah.
Somebody might have waited with the Circle for the second Blade Master and try to heal both of those up. But now he has an alive Blade Master.
Yeah, not too greedy by him, so that's good. And that is
just
not
as bad as the as Frezzar's.
Most of the good priest minions are going to have 4 attack. Like, I guess there's Lotheb and Sylvanas.
Lotheb and Sylvanas.
That'll be the only 5 attacks.
Yeah. So
Emerald Drakes that come out of Ysera possibly.
Or minions that you can Nightmare with Nightmare.
Yeah, and use it as a removal.
That's true, yeah. So maybe his Ysera cards will come into play here. Wow. When that's what you're talking about, it's not the best. Well, he does have his own Sludge Belcher now. Do not expect to see an attack here, and doesn't want to set up a Holy Nova that would just crush him.
Cleric Nova? Looks kind of obvious, I think.
Cleric, what was it?
Attack with Belcher, play the Northshire Cleric, and then Holy Nova. His Belcher dies and yours get healed.
Yeah, but then on the backswing, his Belcher would also die to the Blade Master. So maybe that's not even the best choice here.
But it'll be at 2 health, which means he has to heal it beforehand if he wants to keep it, which draws him yet another card. And then he'll be at 1 health which means he can kill it as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's sometimes what players actually forget is that if the enemy has a no-shot cleric, you cannot actually heal up your own minions. You just give the opponent cards.
So I think that's actually a very good play because of that. But oh, it doesn't look like that's what he wants to do.
something else.
Something a little bit more aggressive here.
Yeah.
Skipping the drawing of cards. You know, a lot of times this does go to fatigue, so in some ways this can be a good move to skip drawing those extra cards because you might not actually need them. The pace of priest versus priest can be so slow.
Yeah, I don't think you can call this strictly a worse play. I mean,
Yeah.
might even be better.
Well, looking at this, nothing. There's no way for him to really get rid of this Auchenai this turn, unfortunately.
Yeah, Numberguy has 6 mana. Unfortunately, no targets for the Cabal Shadow Priest. He could play Sylvanas here.
But he could get a target for it. I mean, if he kills off this Belcher, but then, oh god, yeah, he would lose the Blade Master to a hero power. You don't want that. I like this. Keeps him up at 5. You know, with this little taunt out, very difficult to actually kill off the Blade Master this turn.
Well, that Auchenai is a bit awkward here, because otherwise the Holy Fire would seem like a good play on the
Yeah.
Blade Master. But do you really want to damage yourself 5?
No, not really. The thing is, that may not actually end up changing very much. Overall, this Blade Master has done so much work already. Like, if it even attacks you next turn, that's already 4 damage. So how bad is the Holy Fire really? Especially in a long priest game where it's very likely you could heal yourself up over time.
If he had 1 more mana, he could go something like Cabal on the 1/2 and then use hero power.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Cabal alone is also good enough because the Slime will be able to stop the Blade Master for 1 turn. Yeah, we don't see Numberguy having anything. Oh, actually we do.
Counter Cabal.
Yeah, we have another Cabal. I didn't see that.
Yeah, but it seemed like a
Yeah, I
like
think
an
it was a
alright
good play, though.
Yeah, good play still. I mean, the Holy Fire wasn't that good, really. I mean, he can still Holy Fire the
Yeah. Well, the Holy Fire
Cabal
here
if he
is...
wants.
I mean, the Holy Nova here
Holy
is so
Nova
amazing.
is actually way better.
Yeah, because he can
because
just
of
like
Nova.
heal up his Cabal and clear the board with this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he even has the Northshire to drop. Oh, that's pretty awesome. And both of them have 3 health, so they're out of range of future Holy Novas here. So, definitely a bit of an advantage going to Frezzar there.
And what's also crucial is we see that Ysera in Frezzar's hand that's going to hit the board next turn potentially.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time to play it.
And we don't see that Numberguy has any answers to that Ysera.
No, and even if he had the mind control, he wouldn't be able to cast it next turn because the coin has been spent.
Yeah, and you know what? He used his second Thought Steal as well, and he got Auchenai plus the Wildfire, which he already had in hand anyways. And that's both his Thought Steals gone, and both of them were pretty weak overall. Like, the Auchenai is very good, but everything else was kind of a wash. So that's definitely something that can come back and really hurt him, because we're going to have a second Thought Steal for Frezzar eventually, and he might grab something amazing.
Yeah, it could be. Numberguy's hand looking kind of ugly right now with the double Wildfire and double Shadow Word Death. I would like to see the Ysera come down here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does something else, like heals the Cabal or so.
I'm pretty sure you just slam the Ysera here. Like, there's no downside to
Yeah,
it.
there's no way to deal with it, really. I mean, what can go wrong if you play that?
Yeah, nothing. Like, worst case scenario, the enemy has mind control, which does not see play until 2 turns later.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he has
I guess if he has a silence, he can silence it, or...
Yeah,
you know,
but-
the one thing you have to be careful about, what if he steals it with his own Sylvanas? You know, you have so few targets with your Shadow Word Death, I wouldn't hesitate for a second to use it.
Looks like he might want to draw his mind control first, just to make sure that when the Ysera is played, that if it gets mind control, he can just grab it back.
Well, he does clear that board out, and going to make it a lot harder for him to actually steal it with Sylvanas, if that does come down to that.
Yeah.
So much stealing going on in these games. Numberguy definitely a little bit stressed out about this. Very hard match. Again, this is the most important matches of these guys' lives.
Indeed, there's so much on the line. You either go to BlizzCon or you go home.
This makes your career. There's only going to be 16 players at BlizzCon, and so many of the world's best won't be there. So if you make it, you have gone through an elite crew of Hearthstone players.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. All the players participating in today's top 8 certainly earned their spot here, and they rightfully deserve to go to BlizzCon if they win.
Well, no, I mean, I guess Ysera is what he does, but I think you're right that would have been better the last turn, because now if he has mind control or if he top decks it, it's like right away as opposed to an extra turn. It's kind of like timing out Tyrion as Paladin. You really have to watch out for mind control. It's just the best target.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been safer last time. But there is no mind control, so he looks to be alright with it for now.
Yeah, I mean, there's still the 50-50 of Sylvanas stealing it.
Yeah, if he goes for it.
Well, he just got an Emerald Drake.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow. That's a pretty obvious play right there.
Yeah. That's a good draw.
It doesn't get better than this. I mean, Numberguy having the crucial draws at the crucial turns, those early Blade Masters that he drew off the top, and then now this is the mind control to counter the Ysera. That's insane.
He has the silence, and that's about it.
I mean, I guess you could run the Cabal into it, then Holy... No, wait, he doesn't have a Holy Fire. There actually isn't any way to kill
He used the Holy Fire the turn before when he should have actually played the Ysera.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Well, this is pretty smart, at least. Like, he can draw some cards here. He can... I don't know what he's really going to be able to get. I guess he can play like his Blade Master and draw quite a few cards and kill off this Cabal.
Yeah. Holy Nova.
Yeah, like he can end up drawing like 3 cards this turn.
I would imagine that he's gonna silence the user.
Definitely, like...
Can't let him draw more Dream cards.
Yeah, the Dream cards are so crucial in this matchup. They are just way too powerful. And you don't want to give him as many as... I mean, if you can prevent him drawing Dream cards, then you should do it immediately.
Yeah, what else would you save the silence for?
Yeah, the only thing would be Sylvanas, I guess.
Yeah, and this is actually more important, I would say, than Sylvanas.
Oh, wow, he's drawing a lot. This is actually... Oh, is he not gonna do the silence?
Wow.
Wait, he
no,
gets
his
1,
hand
3,
is still
4, 5,
full.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
He's gonna discard a card.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I really like that much.
No. Frezzar might be a bit nervous because he's playing... I feel like he might be doing some mistakes that we didn't see yesterday. I feel like yesterday, when I was watching him...
Yeah, he played really well yesterday, definitely. I mean, as we've said, like, no matter how good you are, the nerves might even get to you because,
yeah, that's right.
Like, sure, Frezzar is used to the stage already and he has some experience. However, there's so much on the line here. I mean, this is the most important match, and there's also a lot of people watching live, so that's additional pressure. Everyone, you just feel all the eyes on you.
Yeah, certainly it's true, and you know, the more I think about that silence, like, these Dream cards are so much more important than drawing other cards from your deck, so... I feel really bad for Frezzar here that he's going to burn a card, and he used his second circle, right?
Yeah, I mean...
And to not silence this, another great Dream card's going to get in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, if there's going to be Awakens or... Well, there are many good Dream cards. I mean, that feels like a fairly big mistake not to use the silence.
Oh, no! Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
And that must be heartbreaking for Frezzar.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Without the mind control, like, this is the worst case scenario. This is the worst thing that could have happened, that he burned the mind control and he let him get another Dream card here.
If only he went for the silence.
Yeah. Everything would be different. He could steal something awesome right now.
Oh man, like Frezzar has to... We don't see any sort of emotion at the moment on Frezzar's face, but like there still might be something going on in his head, and he definitely does not want to let this get to his head psychologically. So he should just shake it off, try to shake it off, and keep moving forward. Not think about this mistake too much.
Yeah, the thing is, he used, like, I believe it was his second circle, which means he can't even, like, really clear this stuff well. And with this Ysera just continually drawing, he's used his silence, his mind control is gone, he didn't even get to use it. I'm not sure what the strategy would be to win from here. Like, I guess okay, he's gonna go to face, like...
Try to rush him down.
I'm trying to figure out if that can work.
Numberguy is kind of low on HP.
Yeah. He does have a circle now.
Those 4 toughness minions are really tricky to deal with. Actually.
Well, he has circle plus Akanai, right?
Oh yeah.
So he can actually clear this board.
He can clear some of this stuff, yeah. That's true.
In fact, I think 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can clear the entire board this turn and still have Ysera and still have an Akanai out.
Hold on.
With 10 mana, he can use Akanai, Hero Power, Circle, Shadow Word Death, and a Ysera attack. And the Ysera still has 11 health. Oh, what am I?
Well, he does kill one of those.
Okay, I really didn't think that would be the way that he did this. Is that better than clearing everything?
Oh, and there it is. Frezzar does take the game.
Oh my god.
If he didn't draw the smite, he didn't have the mana to play the Nova and the hero power from the Akanai.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Numberguy didn't just clear that board when he was that low on health and that far ahead. I think that he played a bit too greedy there, guys.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Frezzar managed to come back from this. I mean, this seemed like such a big misplay that might have cost him the game, but Frezzar just not letting that misplay get to him and seeing how he can still win the game after that.
He definitely played well. I think after those mistakes, he stayed calm and made some good choices. Whereas with Numberguy, I think he was so greedy there towards the end. When you already have Ysera, your opponent no longer has mind control. He didn't use his silence on your Ysera. You've drawn like 3 cards off of it. You have a full hand. I feel like you do whatever it takes to clear the board every turn because you have all these dream cards and a Ysera.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I mean, Frezzar did have those 4 power dudes and Numberguy was low. I mean, but I still feel like that was a steal in a way. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's a bit tricky. So I'm trying to think if there was a strategy in keeping the silence for the.
Oh, you know what? Actually,
Sylvanas,
now that I'm doing the math again, I think because the Cabal Shadow Priest was actually a 4/7, right? So he would have been 1 health off of clearing that as well with the Akanai play. 4, 5, 6, and then Ysera hitting 1. Yeah, he would have been actually 1. Actually, yeah, I guess that doesn't come into it. Wow. Well, anyways, Frezzar, great on him. And we're going to see him go up against, it looks like Handlock here, so definitely, a good matchup for the Handlock deck.
Yeah, for sure. There's Giant, and if there's no Shadow Word Death, the Giant might just win the game alone.
We've already seen in the tournament Priest win against Handlock, but it's definitely hard, very hard to do that.
Yeah, I feel like 9 out of 10 times we have seen the Warlock win though.
Yeah,
or
it was
8 out of 10.
I think Tice took 1 down, just barely.
Yeah.
And we did see it one other time too, but it was like really close, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was very close.
So when Priest does win, it's like through the skin of their teeth, just barely at the last second. Kind of like that game we just saw there where he top-decked the 1 card that would give him enough.
Yeah, definitely. And when the Warlocks have been winning, there has been a lot of games where it's just hopeless for the Priest.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, and this hand does not look all that good. But to be fair, this Thought Steal can do something.
All right. So we don't see any Twilight Drakes for Numberguy. This is certainly the card that he needs most against Priest. Very hard to deal with for the Priest. But we do see Mountain Giant, and Frezzar does not have the Shadow Word Death to deal with it at the moment.
He needs to draw it quick.
Well, in this situation, right, you're sitting here at 3 mana. Do you play the second Dark Cultist? Just get some more guys on the board?
Yeah, the Dark Cultists are definitely applying decent amount of pressure, which is what the Priest wants to do against Handblock. And yeah, I mean, they're also hard to deal with. Hellfire cannot clear them, and yeah, they're still safe from Shadow Flame because he needs a minion to Shadow Flame first.
Well, I would imagine we're going to see him drop this Mountain Giant and just kind of hope that there's no Shadow or Death in hand yet. Of course, we see there's already 6 damage on the board, so...
I guess the question is to use Soulfire.
Ah, and he decides to. Unfortunately, he does lose his Belcher, which would have been a nice next turn, but...
Yeah. I mean, Belcher is not like a key card against the Warlock, and there can be Shadow Madnesses and stuff, so it can backfire. But in this situation, it would have been quite good if he got to keep it.
Looks like he's going to try to draw in, and actually has enough health at this point to live. I feel like I would Thought Steal here as opposed to make another. Like, even if he has Mortal Coil, it's like, well, okay, you had Mortal Coil, what do you want?
I mean, I guess it would be alright to just shield that and hit the Giant and then maybe heal. But I think the Thought Steal would be better.
Yeah, the Thought Steal might find important cards like Siphon Soul, which would be crucial.
Yeah.
You could just go face.
Well, just, I guess, for me, fitting the Thought Steal in at this point might be just a little bit hard. At 3 mana, like, if you look at his hand, he's going to be kind of busy over the next few turns, so not getting the Thought Steal off and maybe having a couple other options.
Also, in this, like, Thought Steal is kind of deceptive in this matchup. It's not necessarily as good as we often see, stealing Mountain Giants and Siphon Souls and Twilight Drakes. You can also get like bad cards like Ancient Watcher, Iron Beak Owl, stuff like that.
Imagine that, 2 Ancient Watchers. It's like, well, do I use this silence on one of them? I don't know.
Good attack to the Giant there, otherwise it would have been faceless manipulated.
Well, looks like he will remove this board. Loses his other Earthen Ring, but the Earthen Ring not very important in this matchup, really.
No, not at all.
So at this point, he is 1 mana off of clearing this board with a circle. Yeah, I like the Belcher here because it actually lines up after he lost the other Earthen Ring. It lines up this guy to actually die to an Akanai hero power, so I like that.
Yep. I'm a bit surprised by that, because there's not going to be a better target time for the Black Knight, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Giant was already damaged.
Yeah, the Sludge Belcher is the only target Priest has that has Taunt, so I am actually surprised.
These are going to get cleared now.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird, I think, because that's like a very easy clear with a combo like this. Like, I guess he looked at it and said, well, you don't have Shadow or Death. This is very obvious, so I'm going to maybe push this advantage.
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, if there was Shadow or Death, it would have been casted, so that's probably what he was thinking.
Yeah, but maybe not thinking it fully through there.
Yeah, I mean
there's no better time for the Black Knight.
Also, if you play around Shadow or Death, I mean, if you play around him not having Shadow or Death, you should play around him having something else. And that Arcanine Circle combo was something else, so he should have played around that one at least. Yeah,
like what else does he have in his hand right now? It's a good point. Unfortunately, that turn was a bit underpowered after the life tap plus the Mortal Coil. Didn't really have anything that was a good play.
Oh, we see one good card and one not so good card. Although that Iron Beak Owl can at least silence the Twilight Drake.
Yeah, once the Drakes come out.
There's possibly there will be a time where like he can get past a taunt or something for some crucial damage. It's a possibility. But I think that's an okay pickup. I wouldn't be upset with that one at all.
Yeah, that is a good thought still overall.
Yeah.
The Siphon Soul.
The Siphon Soul is the best. I mean, if that was the only card you got, I think you're happy.
Yeah.
Thought Steal really is the most fun card in the game, right?
It sure is.
I do like its little brother too, the one that takes one out of your hand.
Mind Vision.
Yeah, Mind Vision's pretty neat.
Yeah, all those randomness cards that Priest has definitely add excitement to the class, which is why we see many streamers go to that class. And yeah, I mean, just it's just enjoyable to watch as well.
Yeah. I'll never forget a Maz grabbing like every giant out of Reels' deck to beat him. It was so crazy.
That was crazy.
And Colento got at VGV. No wait, but not VGV. Was it Prismata? He thought stole double mountain giants against Handlock and just ran away with the game.
Yeah, I bet.
It's pretty funny. Like the times you get something like Shield Block and Shield Slam, or Assassin's Blade and Deadly Poison. It's just hilarious.
And look at this. We have to see a pass at Lotheb really getting in his way.
Wow.
Didn't want to drop that Akanai quite yet. And I can't really blame him because he has the other circle in hand. And that may come in big later on.
That's right.
Now, this one's a little bit trickier because he has the silence to get rid of the health on this Drake, but he didn't really want to play the Akanai before. Does he circle here with the silence?
Looks like.
Okay. Are you really going to get better value out of the circle and the Akanai than this? Like, is Numberguy going to make a mistake with giants again like that?
Nah. But now Numberguy knows that both circle combos are gone.
Yeah.
And there's one less thing he has to play around now.
Indeed, and in fact, look at this. Absolutely crazy. I love that he doesn't even bother to taunt. He knows what's in this deck.
So there's like the option to mind control one of those, or he could go for Siphon Soul. But the mind control would theoretically allow Frezzar to trade giants. But we see that Numberguy does have a Siphon Soul in his hand as well.
Which one do you guys actually like here out of these two? Not knowing the hand, obviously, of Numberguy.
I would probably cast the mind control because it's 10 mana and he won't have. I don't expect him to have actually time to play it later on. And if he was to go with the Siphon Soul, there wouldn't be any good follow-up with the 4 mana. So
yeah,
this might be like the only time that he has the 10 mana and the time to actually cast the mind control.
Keeping those cards that are not included in the deck as well also adds some sort of mystery and not being able to play around it because yeah, I mean, he does not expect it.
Yeah.
He would never expect like Ysera Awakens from an Ysera or like the cards from the Thoughtseize, like for example Siphon Soul. You cannot play around those cards.
Well, looks like getting that Siphon Soul really painful. At only 14.
That giant has to go.
Yeah.
So there's no follow-up right now. He could drop a cleric.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a cleric actually against that.
I don't see a reason not to drop the cleric. You should be able to probably draw a card off at the next turn if you need to. So it's like better than holding a cleric, I think. Like,
yeah,
the clerics in your hand aren't doing very much.
No, not at all.
Oh, that is a big draw. That along with Argus will be able, the Sunfury Protector will be able to deal with the Noshar Cleric.
Yeah, that is pretty painful there. Is he playing Black Knight in this deck? I don't think he is. Oh, there you go. Finally draws one.
Man, those top decks are insane.
You have to draw one eventually, I guess, right? It looks like he had about 12 cards left in his deck.
Yeah, Frezzar was definitely looking for that Shadow Word Death for a long time already.
Is there a better time for Cabal? I don't think so.
No, probably not. Especially with this mana left over.
There's very few targets for the Cabal anyway. If you play against Handlock, and might as well, whenever you see one, you might as well throw it out there.
Yeah, I agree.
And oftentimes just throw it out anyways, I would say. Saw some players actually end up losing games because of not doing that.
Yeah, we have seen quite a few of those. It's actually been in this matchup too, many times. It can be really difficult to get value out of the Earth Cabal.
Yeah. Well, looks like we are going to get some healing done here.
Yeah, let's
draw some cards. It's a really good play.
Yeah, that's a nice holding over.
Gets his Ysera. That definitely could come into play very well, but there is a Siphon Soul in his opponent's hand, and at this point you expect to see like double Siphon Soul in the deck. So does he try to bait that out before he plays Ysera? How important is Ysera in him actually winning this game?
I think it might be like the only option, right?
I think that depends on a lot of things. It's like, what are his options? He might be forced to drop the Ysera anyway if it's like, if he gets some useless cards and has no other play. But I feel like if he does
Wow.
Oh boy.
Everything just changed. He just stole the most powerful card that Warlock has.
We have a brand new game here. We have seen that Jaraxxus ended the games for for the Warlocks, and now he can match it up.
Just like Priest has no way to deal with this, Warlock doesn't either. This is so huge. I cannot believe that we just saw that. That is the biggest thought steal that you could ever see. This is the most important match in these guys' lives, and he just thought stole Jaraxxus. We might see a Priest win as Jaraxxus.
Wow.
I did definitely not expect this to happen at all.
No.
Oh man.
And look at that, he actually uses a silence here. That's the least of his worries as his Northshire Cleric. Oh my god.
Does he wait for it though?
I think he waits a bit.
Yeah.
I think he plays Ysera first. Because once you play Jaraxxus, you're never going to play Ysera. There's like no point. I mean, a token every turn is more important, I think.
But right here, I feel like he has to go for the Owl and the Drake, so he won't have mana to drop the Ysera. So it's probably just gonna be a Sylvanas. But Sylvanas, not bad either.
No, I say play out your cards, man. The fact that you're going to have Jaraxxus soon, just get whatever value you can out of everything.
Absolutely. Just throw as much stuff on the board as you can and make your opponent spend his next turn just dealing with what you have.
Oh, and there's...
Oh my god.
We're gonna have some Jaraxxus on Jaraxxus action.
Yeah, we gotta watch the look on Numberguy's face when Frezzar ends up playing this Jaraxxus, by the way. That's gonna be one of the most important parts of this tournament for me. The shock and the dismay and the oh my god, I thought that I had the advantage here.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Thing is, the cards in Numberguy's deck go better with Jaraxxus, I would say. But, I mean, just the fact that he has the Jaraxxus to counter those tokens is so gigantic.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see it next turn. Because here, I mean, he seems likely to run those 2 attack minions into the Cabal and siphon the Sylvanas. And that would give the Priest an opportunity to get the Jaraxxus played.
I think I would still... I mean, if you're going to Siphon Soul this... I would actually go for the Ysera first. Because, again, I feel like once I play Jaraxxus, there's no way I'm going to play Ysera. I want the 6/6 every turn.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And
I think you might... Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I really didn't expect that. But you know what?
Me neither.
He has 2 Shadow Flames in hand, so he can deal with everything next turn, no matter what it is.
Yeah, he does not even bother to attack the Owl here because he knows he's going to clear the board with Shadow Flame next turn.
You know what? This, I think, was a great play by Numberguy. And this makes playing the Ysera a lot weaker. Like, I could see him going Jaraxxus at this point.
Which one do you go with?
God, it's really hard.
Because if he plays Jaraxxus, he can hit for another 3.
You can still play the Ysera, though, because Ysera... The only way for him to deal with Ysera is Siphon Souling it, but then he cannot Shadow Flame anymore.
I mean, he can't do both.
That keeps out your Ysera, I mean your Sylvanas a lot longer, so...
And yeah...
That gives you like a whole nother attack phase with her.
Yeah, I agree with the Ysera. It seems like a better play. There's no way he can deal with all the creatures on the board.
Yeah. It's like actually quite impossible. So.
Yeah, and there are so many good Ysera cards that he can draw with the Dream cards. He can get Awakens, he can get Dream, he can get Nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Right now he's gonna drop down to 8, and after that, any like Nightmare or Ysera Awakens will be able to win the game actually.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because he can't Shadow Flame.
Oh my god!
And he did get it. Wow.
Wow. Like. Hold on. He gains 3 health off of that. But he can put up like a taunt.
Sad. Yeah, I'm just a little bit sad we're not gonna see the Jaraxxus.
Yeah, I really want to see that so badly. But he's got to do what wins. Ysera's awaiting. What sick pulls this game from Frezzar.
Taunting it up, but it doesn't do any good because there's a second Owl coming. He's gonna get the 7 damage in then.
Yeah.
Then there's the Awakens.
Wow. I cannot believe how this game is going.
That is the danger of just dropping the Jaraxxus while your opponent still has a board. You just might not have enough health to survive the blows that from the minions that are still on the board.
I feel like it was too early from the Warlock player to be playing the Jaraxxus. He had good plays there. He could have siphoned the Sylvanas.
Yeah, I agree.
So Frezzar takes 2-0 lead.
That's right. Let's take a look at it. Oh, he doesn't ever get to play Jaraxxus. It is a sad thing, but here we go. Frezzar 2-0, the third win with Priest over Handlock in this tournament so far. That's a big win right there. Frezzar, I mean, is there any way to come back at this point?
I mean, Numberguy definitely took the best deck he could against the Priest.
Yeah.
And he failed to win.
But you know what? It's not like Druid cannot beat Priest. That's, you know.
It can, but it's not as easy as it would be with the Warlock usually.
Certainly, I agree with that. But Druid is a deck that can beat any deck. And if we look at some of these other classes, I would like Druid against Warrior overall.
Yep,
against Pally, I guess it matters which Druid he's playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
There's
Let's so many Druids.
Yeah, for Frezzar. Yeah, I mean, everyone was playing Druid almost, so.
Yeah, but some run ramp, some run tokens, some run something in between.
I think the Innovation team's Druid, I'm pretty sure it was the one that was like double combo but some ramp, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, that was it. So it should line up all right against all these decks.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not count the Numberguy out just yet. But Frezzar has been looking really strong.
Other than, you know, that not silencing the Ysera in that one game, it seems like everything has worked out for him. He's played very well overall. He's definitely, I think, just one of the strongest players, and he continually shows it in Europe. So definitely one of the favorites here. I think at this point, one of the guys that you could look at and say, this guy might end up winning BlizzCon at $100,000.
Yeah, Frezzar definitely proving that he's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, with the exception of that one play that we thought was a huge misplay.
Yeah, with the silence.
His plays were actually spot on, and Numberguy making some questionable plays, and that might have cost him the game.
Yeah, it could have. All right, so he does have those Yetis, as we see, in this deck. BGH, that's not going to be useful at all. And does keep a couple 3-cost minions here. What do you think about the hands, guys?
It certainly hurts that Numberguy does not have an Innovate for that awesome turn 1 Yeti, but he has the Wild Growth.
Okay, so the Druid hand looks good.
Yeah, it looks like he actually wants to play like an instant BGH here as well.
Yeah.
Using the coin there.
Against the Priest, it's not bad at all. He might get a trade with it, with something.
Yeah, like imagine.
I mean,
imagine it trades with the Dark Cultist. That would be actually a very good trade for the Big Game Hunter.
Yeah.
There are no other targets in the Priest deck.
The Battle Cry won't find the target, but on turn 3, I mean, it's alright. It still gets a 1/1. I mean, when I said that it can be good, I didn't really mean that it's that good, but it's usually even worse unless you're playing against something with Battle Cry targets.
Like, look at this now. This Big Game Hunter is actually huge in this situation. Blade Master is gonna get traded. Dark Cultist is gonna get traded.
Yeah, getting a 1-for-1 with a card which is targeted at a different deck is quite good.
Well, looks like he's just going to give it the Dark Cultist. Can't be unhappy about that. Can easily drop a Yeti as well. Oh, really? You like
that's
that?
Good play. Well, I think it's fine.
Huh.
I mean, the Big Game Hunter dies so easily to other stuff like Organized Soul Priest and Holy Nova, so I'm actually surprised he did not choose to.
Yeah. I feel like the Yeti is just so hard to kill as well for the Priest.
Yeah,
I really
exactly.
would have liked to see him play the Yeti that turn.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, apparently he wants to pressure Frezzar with the Big Game Hunter
It seems
to
so.
get him in range for the combo.
But we can see him holding Ancient of War, so it's a bit like a slower Druid.
Yeah.
So maybe like considering what sort of deck he's playing, the trade would have made more sense.
Yeah, I feel that way. But I mean, I guess we'll see if this pays off for him. If we don't see any Holy Novas or something, I guess.
The BGH is getting a lot of damage in. And if he was to go charge mode with the Druid of the Claw, that would actually be like amazing.
Yeah.
Because there is no combo or anything.
Yeah, but I think he's just afraid of Akanai combos
Yeah,
here.
it makes sense.
But if you were afraid of Akanai combos and you traded in with the BGH, you could have played this guy in charge very easily because you'd have a Yeti out with 5 health.
Yeah.
And this guy is still 1 turn off of being able to use hero power, Akanai, and Circle. So
That's true.
definitely could have been, I mean, the similar amount of damage dealt, and the board maybe a little bit stronger and more resilient.
Unfortunately for Frezzar, he does not have very good ways of dealing with his minions.
Well, you can set up a taunt, I guess. Just if a Black Knight gets drawn, that would be really, really bad. Let's see what he ends up going with. He does have a Lotheb as well. I don't really care for Lotheb here at all. Yeah, I really feel like that's the best play, as long as there's no Black Knight. Oh my God!
There it is.
Well, that is the worst thing in the whole world that could have happened to Frezzar here.
Absolutely.
Oh man. Top Decken and Reckon indeed.
Little roll of the eyes, showing his displeasure. And Akanai does finally come, but he doesn't have the circle to go with it, unfortunately. And that is so much damage on board. Like, is this just it? Is he just dead? There's like 13 points on board, which means he has to go Akanai and use it on the BGH to even have a chance of living.
Yeah, he has no way of effectively clearing his board, so
And
he has to get rid of as many minions as he can per turn, which is not a lot.
Well, I mean, this just means he's already dead because we have a Keeper of the Grove in his hand plus hero power, so that's 3 more, which is all he needs.
Yeah, that's right.
So
This
he's
game is
actually like just drawn
actually
dead at
over.
this point.
Well, that was a quick one. I
Wow.
thought this would have taken a longer time, considering that it's like a ramp druid with Ancient of
Yeah.
War and stuff.
Yeah, and we see like the Wrath play.
It paid
it
off.
paid off after all because the Big Game Hunter got a lot of attacks in and and closed out the game much earlier as it would have otherwise probably.
It's very interesting the way he ended up playing this because I guess, you know, in a certain way as well, the like using the Big Game Hunter for pressure, even if he uses a Holy Nova, you're like, well, okay. And if he uses the Hero Power and Akanai, that's turn 6, so you've gotten so much usage out of him. So there's like definitely good pieces about how and why he made the decisions he made. And this is really the beauty of Hearthstone, is that you can have all sorts of like pro players having different thought processes. We saw this a lot with Mr. Yuga. We're seeing it now with Numberguy. And they just have all these different ideas about different lines to play. And we see that there are so many of them that actually are very valid.
Yeah, that was really well played by him, recognizing the opportunity to just push for damage and end the game early. With Ramp Druid, you usually aim to go for the late game, but he saw an opportunity and he went for it, and it paid off.
Yeah, very well played here by Numberguy. Takes down 1 deck with the Druid. What do you counterpick against this? Are you going with the Warrior or are you going with the Paladin? I like the Warrior here because I think it's a weaker matchup against it.
Yeah, you know, in a way it doesn't matter because there's only one
Exactly.
deck left. But
Yeah.
you might go with like a weaker deck first, just to fish for more information.
Yeah, like try to figure out his entire
Yeah.
deck card for card if you can, and maybe pick up the win. And that's looks like what he's going to go for. Some people actually do like Warrior versus Druid, anyways.
Yeah, and he is running a Black Knight in there, so that makes the Warrior a lot better against Ramp Druid.
Yeah, if I went for a better counter here, I would have picked the Paladin, and yeah, I mean, but yeah, he might just go for the line that he just wants to get more information and tries to go for it with a weaker deck first.
Yeah.
But I mean, Warrior is already decent against the Ramp Druid, and this particular Warrior list is running the Black Knight, so I think his chances are fair also with the Warrior.
Does he even run the Gorehowl?
I think Frezzar did, yes.
Yeah, I think Frezzar
pretty
has.
sure Frezzar
That has always been very good against Ramp Druids.
It's
Yeah.
amazing because you actually have time to use it. I mean, the ramp isn't threatening you with so much damage, so you can afford to take the 5 from the Ancient of Lore. You can afford to take the 4 from Thierry.
Numberguy smiling because he top deck once again. I mean, that wild growth was so amazing right now.
Yeah,
It really was.
That is an insane wild growth.
Wild growth is definitely what the Druid needs in those control matchups, just to give him a huge edge when it comes to early game drops.
Well, he definitely knows he could be in some trouble here. Yeti coming down on turn 3. God, he has so many good plays coming up, too.
Yeah, Numberguy definitely wants to draw into something big, like Ancient of Lore, so he can use his Innervate effectively as well.
Yeah, that would be really, really nice. As of right now, I mean, are you just letting this thing hit your face? Like, you could use your coin and your shield block and your shield slam. Is this... oh, wait, he doesn't have the shield slam. That's a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind.
Oh, God. Well, I guess you can't do anything.
Yeah, there's no
could drop the armor smith and just let it die, basically.
Yeah, and hope that he draws execute the next turn.
I kind of don't like the shield blocked all that much, because then if he gets the slam, he might not be able to remove what he wants to.
Yeah. I don't want to see just a shield block. Like, I think you can only play Armor Smith or Armor Pass.
But I mean, the shield block isn't all bad, because he might also want to draw something like a weapon. He doesn't have a good turn for next turn either.
He needs to dig for solutions right now, and I think the shield block is the only viable play here.
Really?
Even if he top decks the shield slam, then it would have been an insane play, but unfortunately for Frezzar he didn't.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, it can be really important to try find those.
Yeah, it looks like he plays a Belcher here. You know, the one thing I worry about using the shield blocks early on in games like this is if you need your shield slams to kill something really big later on, you just have no chance.
Yeah, it can be tricky at times.
But, you know, he has the Armor Smiths, he has a Whirlwind. You definitely can work up some armor later on, regardless of the amount of damage he's taking now.
What we could see here is Frezzar trying to bait out more minions so he could get a semi-decent brawl.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if he just hero power passes here.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you really want this Black Knight to come out and kill this 3/5, or if he plays another minion, a Brawl would be really good next turn.
Yeah, I mean, any minion that he can play right now doesn't really accomplish anything.
Yeah.
The Armor Smith just gets traded by the Yeti, the Taskmaster does nothing except for buffing the enemy minions, so most likely we will just see armor up and pass.
Yeah. And still, you know, he'll only be brought down to like 28 health, so it's not that big a deal. Thing is, as Frezzar here, would you look at this very suspiciously and maybe not play another minion?
Yes.
I think so.
I mean, you already have 7 power on the board.
Yeah.
He needs to be careful here.
Oh, he's giving another Yeti. I think we're going to see a Brawl here for sure.
Yeah.
Unless he draws like a Gorehow right now. I guess he could... Yeah, no, I want to see a Brawl. 3 minions, you're not going to get better than this.
Yeah, in this situation, as Frezzar, you definitely want to play Brawl, I would say, and hope that the Sludge Belcher, being the weakest minion right now in terms of attacks, would survive this.
Yeah, and then you could just Black Knight it next turn as well, which is... Well, I think you might want to save Black Knight as well, to be honest.
There will be better targets for Black Knight in this matchup.
But this Brawl, like, it doesn't even matter which one of those survives, it's still going to be really good.
All right, a Yeti survives, which means a little 1/2 Slime will as well.
Yeah. That Brawl dealt effectively 10 damage.
Yeah, it took 6 damage off the board.
Oh no, there's a taunt.
Ouch.
I mean, I've seen some people try to hold on to the Black Knight and try to land it on Ancient of War, but I mean, that's almost as good.
Yeah. Yeah, Divine Shield's pretty good.
And as a warrior, you still have stuff like Executes for the Ancient of War. And the Divine Shield can be tough to deal with.
And a lot of these warrior decks do run 1 silence now, so I can't remember if Frezzar does. I think he does, though.
Yeah, nearly all of the warrior decks have 1.
He's going to go ahead and hit for 1 here. I wonder if... Okay, he's actually going to use a swipe. And with that swipe, that means that he doesn't take any damage on this Yeti, and that's actually really good for him because he does actually play Whirlwind. He has those Cruel Taskmasters as well, so he had a lot of ways he could have gotten rid of that.
Yep.
But at least, you know what? The Warrior's starting to fight back despite the really low health. He has a really big hand, and if he can start to clear up this board a little bit and start using his armor up, he'll be in good shape. But it is a little bit scary, especially when so many Druids, even in ramp, are playing the combo right now.
Yeah, but in ramp, there's almost always only 1 combo, and Frezzar knows that there's likely to be only 1 combo, so I don't think he's too scared of that. But it's still gonna be in the back of his mind that there might be a combo coming.
Does he even play it? From the cards I've seen so far, it doesn't look to me like he would actually play this combo.
Yeah, he may not here.
There have been so many Druid decks, my bad, I can't just quite remember who plays exactly what.
By the way, like first off, I really like this play of getting that Armor Smith ready to help with the trade. But someday, just a little prediction, someone's going to make a Druid deck that has Sunwalkers and the double combo. Because as soon as I see a Sunwalker, I'm like, no way you have 2 combos in here. It's just 0%.
Well, there's one piece of it, and look at that HP. And the board is quite threatening as well. There's the Gore Howl, but
God, well that's...
Looks
I would
like
say you
it's a little
needed that
bit too late.
earlier.
shield block for either an Execute or a Shield Slam.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's kind of unlucky for Frezzar that he did not draw any Execute or any Shield Slam so far.
but if he gets one of those, he's gonna be in a good spot because he can go Whirlwind. No, he goes Cruel Taskmaster on his Cruel Taskmaster, then trades that off, and then Whirlwinds afterwards. So he can deal one of those things. So if he was to get a removal with the shield block, he can actually clear the Druid side of the board without taking any damage at all.
Yeah, that would be very nice. Especially considering if he draws that other piece of combo, he's just dead. I think this isn't even going to be that hard for him to find. Like, looking at this hand,
And looking at
he can't be happy with anything. He has to start with the shield block.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean,
Looks like he may want to start with the other one,
That's
but there's no
12.
reason to.
you see, considering something like killing off one maybe Yeti with that Cruel Task and the weapon, and then
You could also drop the
dropping Rag.
Ragnaros.
Yeah, maybe he's going to hit this with his weapon
no,
and drop the
I
rag.
really don't think he can, because if he hits face, he's guaranteed to lose the game.
Yeah.
And even if
Okay, well, he's dead.
I don't
Wow.
know about this. There's so many cards that can kill him right
Yeah.
now. Just a Keeper of the Crow would be enough, and we haven't seen a single swipe. Have we even seen any
saw one
Druid of
swipe,
the Claw?
But yeah, no,
There's
I
like
mean,
half the deck kills him, and the Druid
Yeah.
already was holding 5 cards.
There's no way this Ysera would ever
That
be
was
the best
definitely
play.
a mistake.
what would the only way that I could even begin to imagine that Ysera could be a good play is if you're playing Defender Vargas. And
even
you're like,
Rag-
well, I'm going to set a huge taunt the next turn.
I wouldn't have liked even a Ragnaros there.
Yeah, it's
It would have
risky.
been. He might still lose even if he hits the minion.
Yeah.
And the Ysera, it's like I didn't
The Ysera
understand.
doesn't even kill the minion the next turn, by the way. You have to use a spell with it as well. So that was a tough one.
Maybe a bit of misplay there.
Yeah.
Maybe Frezzar just thought this game was over anyway, and he just
Yeah,
pretty much threw it in
But
at that moment.
I mean, with the shield block, if he actually drew a removal, he could have healed up back to 20 or 19 exactly, and dealt with everything on the Druid side. So I don't know. I feel like that was almost a draw.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the right line of play there, no doubt, against any Druid deck. There's just so many cards that could kill you. So it looks like Frezzar has to go down to his last deck here, which is going to be a Paladin deck. It's going to be Paladin versus Druid to finish this off.
Yeah, I mean, and the Paladin, as I said before, in my opinion, has a very good matchup against the Ramp Druid.
Yeah.
Especially with those crucial equality turns. And it definitely has a lot of tools to deal with singular big minions. Aldor Peacekeeper or Humility plus the Kodo.
Yeah.
Or the Black Knight as well is huge in this matchup.
It's very true. I really like the matchup when it's the actual ramp that has things like Sunwalker and has things like Ancient of War. I feel like as the Paladin, you're in actually a favorable matchup. So
Yeah, I think the Paladin has the slight edge, but this is not a matchup like Handlock against Priest, where
No.
one deck is heavily favored. This can definitely go either way.
oh, certainly yes. If
we
you don't
can-
get the right draws and stuff, you
And
can
look
still
at
kill
that.
you.
We can already see a shade in Frezzar's hand, and that's the dream against Ramp Druid. Ramp Druid has no way at all to deal with it.
Yeah,
That is true. Yeah.
The Shade for control decks is a very strong 3-drop because it's in the controller's control mirror. It's probably like the best 3-drop you can actually put on the board. You can just let it sit there because
Yes.
you're not under pressure and just let it grow.
Just hold on to it as long as you can. But the start from Numberguy ain't bad either. You can see the wild growth in there, and no matter what your other cards are, if you have the wild growth, you're happy.
Yeah. Which, all right, doesn't want to coin it out or anything like that. He did have a 5-drop though, so I wouldn't have really minded if he did that. And over on this side, I do assume it's going to be Dude Pass into Shade Tech Dude Pass.
Nothing else secret casted there.
Paladin plays itself pretty well on their early turns, that's for sure.
I feel like both of these players are off to a strong start.
pretty sure that Numberguy tries to get into Frezzar's head with those emotes right now. Keep smiling at him, looking at him, just trying to like rustle him with those turn to wild growths.
He did that story, with the wild growth.
I do like players that do that. I really do. When you try to get under your opponent's skin. I mean, this is part of the game. You're playing a card game right across the table from him. You may as well do a little bit of trash talk.
Yeah, I love to do that as well often.
Yeah, you
as
do.
Some people already know.
I can still remember, like when the rope starts burning, when there's like really tough turn, you go for Wilbert, stuff like start spamming emotes when the other guy is like Harry and deep in thought.
Well, look at this. Coin and Innervate on turn 3 into Ancient Lore.
5-5.
That's pretty awesome.
This is like Alder Peacekeeper or no Alder Peacekeeper, and this time there isn't one.
No actual good play here. Like
Not even a true silver. If he had a true silver, he could throw the dude to the lore and then use the weapon.
The best he could do here is like his Argus to kill it, but I don't like that at all. Trading a Shade and your guy, and also you no longer have this Defender of Argus, which can really come into play later on. That's tough.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Frezzar have an Aldo Peacekeeper in his opening hand and he mulliganed it away?
Did he? I don't think you ever mulligan that against Druid, ever.
I'm pretty sure he had it and mulliganed it away.
I didn't notice. If that's the case, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I think that Aldor is like a keeper against most decks.
Especially against Druid, that if Druid goes ahead and innovates something big early, then you need that Elder Peacekeeper or you don't have anything else to deal with it.
Yeah,
So
but to be fair, who expects turn 3 Ancient of Lore?
Yeah, that is for
That's
sure.
like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too harsh about him throwing back the Alder if that was the case.
Certainly. We do see that, he plays this... he does end up playing this 2-3 Argus to give them taunt and stuff. The thing is, the 2 damage on that doesn't do anything. It's...
Not sure if he needed the
like 3
equality
damage does something, but not 2.
Yeah, not sure if he needed the equality just yet, but that's definitely a card that he's gonna need access to.
Oh, still no good play. Like... I mean, he might need to end up using the Shade earlier than he wanted at some point here, but I would say not quite yet on that. I mean, realistically here, I think I'd play the Golem in a dude.
Yeah, and that's what he does. That's what he ends up doing. I think that's the best play out of the options that he had.
None of them seemed very good. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll get that fixed in just a moment, but... still get to follow the game.
What can Frezzar do here?
It's still, it's a scary board from Druid, but that's still not a terrible board from Paladin, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just, I think the problem is the hand of Paladin doesn't back this board up at all. There's no tricky stuff you can do. If he starts clearing your board, you can't punish him for taking damage on his minions.
No, the Paladin hand is a bit awkward here. It's like it's missing some stuff.
Yeah, it's the equality, but it has nothing to enable it, which would definitely help. Like a consecration off the top would be huge.
For example.
Yeah, it would
that would be really big.
Unfortunately.
Oh, there's the Peacekeeper, which helps a little bit, but...
It does slow the Druid down a bit.
Yeah,
He will have to start attacking with the Shade, I would assume, now, just to alleviate some pressure.
I hate to do it, but I completely agree with you. I think that he needs to do that. And, I mean, obviously this Aldor, I feel like I would Aldor the 4-5 and just run into the taunt with the guy right now.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It's just getting out of control. He can't know if he will draw the consecration anytime soon.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're waiting to use the equality anyways, as soon as you equality, they can do something like a swipe to get rid of the Shade anyways. So just use it, stem the tide of damage. You know that there's probably a combo in here waiting for you.
You have silenced the Shade, so it would have 2 toughness again.
Yeah, that's fantastic! Wow. And then you can use KT with him to get him back into the board
in the
without
stealth
silence.
again. Yeah. It gets re-stealthed when you kill the Shade. Yeah, he can't wait any longer.
Yeah, this is...
He has to go for it. He doesn't want to, and against the ramp dude, you would love to keep it in stealth for even longer, but there's just no way.
Now that's He definitely made the right play there, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and a swipe does get drawn. A lot of options here for Druid on how to clean everything up. And ooh.
Spell power swipe.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
That is brutal.
Says the courteous
Wow.
sorry. Just to get under Frezzar's skin a little bit more. Oh man. Numberguy is on a tear right now.
Yeah, that blood mage swipe. The Paladin has nothing left. It's looking really good for the Numberguy right now.
Yeah, it really does. And look at this. He's got half the combo in his hand. He has Cenarius. He has... I mean, he has his 2 silences. He has a Sylvanas. Just a lot of powerful cards. He doesn't have, like, junk in there like an Innervate right now, you know? He's got plenty of options for probably the rest of this game. This is a really tough spot for a Paladin to fight back from.
Oh, Numberguy.
I like that kid.
Yeah, he's feeling very confident now. He sees that the odds are very much in his favor at the moment. I mean, he has to feel blessed kind of at the moment, because with all those top decks that he got, I would have felt blessed too if I was in his spot.
No doubt, no doubt. It's his turn right now, man, and he is doing it. Frezzar trying to figure out what he can do with his hand. We didn't get to see what card he drew quite yet. Okay, he does have another Aldor here.
Can combine it with the Kodo if I'm correct. Or does it not have enough mana? I don't see it from here.
The thing is, do you want to combine... Do you want to use your Kodo right now? Like... Oh, no, he had 7, so yeah, he was 1 man off that anyways.
Okay.
But still, this is... You got 3 minions with 1 attack here. But he does get another swipe. Yeah, I actually...
Another spell power swipe.
I like this so much because the next turn he can just Cenarius to get all these +2/+2. It's like so crazy.
Or like Keeper silence the lore, Keeper silence the Yeri.
Oh yeah.
Just go face.
I mean, the Paladin is very low on health already.
Yeah, he needs a board clear this turn. That's a Sen'jin, that's not a board clear.
Sen'jin is not gonna hold back the Druid.
Man, Frezzar has played so well in this tournament, but he is facing elimination right now.
$5,000 minimum and a trip to BlizzCon on the line here.
Yeah, I mean, on the line. And the thing is, his deck is not delivering at the moment. He has very worthless cards. Like the KT does nothing right now. The Kodo, like, it does something. It's not that great. I guess he could Guardian of Kings, but he knows that he's dead to combo. The next turn there's 9 mana. That is the combo amount.
And how terrible must Frezzar feel at this moment? I mean, being 2-1 in the lead and then like slowly letting this Druid take away the victory from him.
Yeah.
It was so close, but yeah, like the Druid is just smashing him at the moment, and he's on the brink of elimination right now.
Yeah, as Savitz was saying at the beginning, you know, even though Frezzar has played really greatly, Numberguy really brought a very intelligent set of decks here. Like, his decks work together very well. They cover each other's weaknesses, and we see this with the Druid coming back so hard. So it does look like he's going to go ahead and play the Cenarius, pump these guys up, and just playing the board clear for now.
Yeah, I think he can afford to do that.
Yeah. He doesn't need to, like, rush things right now. Like, sometimes you may have to because the Paladin will just have so many cards in hand compared to you that you're like, oh, I can't really play this board control right now. I should probably go for face, but at the moment, like, he's got such a powerful hand, as we saw.
I wouldn't have blamed him for going for face there either, because we know that he has the Force of Nature in his hand already, and maybe even some other damage. He had double Keeper and stuff, so he could have with 10 mana. He could have potentially silenced the Taunt if there is one, and then go face for 6 more and whatever is on the board.
Yeah.
So going for face would have been all right, but not necessarily a mistake to clear the board.
You know, taking a look at this hand, right, he's at 9 health. The thing is, we know there's 2 Keepers in hand. This is like, even playing a taunt, he can just silence it. That's 9 damage. He has a Force of Nature. I believe that this is just lethal no matter what right now. Because, yeah, he'll have 10 mana next turn. So that is 6 plus 9, that's 15.
Yes.
He has lethal no matter what happens, because at only 9 mana, he can't play 2 taunts. He has no other life gain in his deck.
In Numberguy, or Numberguy from Team Innovation is going to be going to BlizzCon.
That's right. You know, it seems like
miss
a lot
it.
of these...
No way.
No, this is a very easy lethal for him to hit. And we're going to see that. Numberguy right now should be doing a fist pump.
Frezzar getting his dreams crushed.
That's right. He's going to see the silence and know what's coming. Force of nature.
There it is.
Gonna finish him off, and it looks like Numberguy is gonna be going to BlizzCon. A huge victory for Numberguy and Team Innovation. Definitely one of the strongest teams. We were saying at the beginning of this event, they probably have a player going absolutely a fantastic job.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Numberguy. You said it perfectly, Artosis. 3 players qualified for a top 16, and only fitting that one of them is able to get through, considering the pool of talent that they're able to demonstrate. I think we're going to have with the winner. Rachel is preparing with Numberguy. But before we do that, we want to talk a little bit about that series and poll what you guys thought about it. You guys already talked a little bit about it. Very impressive, that Druid deck overall. But was it Numberguy the guy you pegged from Group A to be the one getting one of the top 4 spots, Ekop? Do you think he was one of those guys you favorited?
Not at all. I mean, from the start, I thought when he was facing Naria, his teammate, who Numberguy himself considers to be better, when he, from the start, he was in a disadvantage, in my opinion, and he definitely was not the favorite in that group. We kind of just thought Naria would take it by storm, being the number 2 seed in this tournament. But yeah, I mean, in Hearthstone, it always doesn't go as predicted. We saw Naria go 0-2, losing both his matches, and Numberguy winning that group.
All right, well, congrats to Numberguy. He is the 2nd player through. Rachel is waiting with him to get a few of his thoughts.
Thank you so much, casters. An excellent job, and an excellent job by Numberguy. A really impressive performance. How confident were you going into that match?
I was actually pretty confident. Everyone was telling me, don't worry, you're the better player, you're going to win. But I'm also very cautious not to be overconfident, because if you're overconfident, then you're definitely going to lose.
Now you play on an incredible team for Hearthstone. How essential is a team for a game where you're really playing 1v1? What does the team do for you, and how often do you guys meet and talk about Hearthstone?
A team is extremely essential. We train together every day, we talk together every day, and even though some of my teammates is no longer in my team, we still talk together, we are still friends, and they still help me practice with practice to this event, and I think I couldn't have made it without them.
Shout outs to those guys, and shout outs to you, sir. Is this going to be your first time in America?
No, I've already been to America.
Have you been to Southern California yet?
No.
Well, you're in for a treat. What's your most exciting part of BlizzCon? What do you can't wait for?
I can't wait to play some Hearthstone, and I can't wait to meet some of the awesome BlizzCon people that will be at BlizzCon, and I can't wait to feel the atmosphere. The atmosphere here at DreamHack is really amazing, and I hope it will be even better at BlizzCon.
I bet it will be. It only gets cooler from here. Well, congratulations to you. Thank you guys for watching. We got more Hearthstone coming right after these commercials.